All right. So welcome everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. This is an interactive session between early career psychiatrists in Nigeria and a special group of friends of mine from different countries. And this is the first of hopefully many interactions. What we hope to do today is basically look at early career psychiatry as a time for growth, friendships, and collaborations. And we will be having 5 talks, all within 10 to 15 minutes, after which we'll have a very interactive session. So if you have your questions, you can write them down and wait for the end of the talk, and then you put up your hands and we'll pick you to ask your question, and then we can discuss it. Or if you don't want to, you can just send the questions in, type them in, and I'll ask them on your behalf. So whichever is you're more comfortable with. So my name is Dr. Frances Aduku. I am from Port Harcourt. And we have with us our very own Dr. Jubril Abdulmalik, who we know has been guiding us through this process of being early career psychiatrists. And we also have Jean Sola-Vidal, we have Paolo Gratinetti, Victor Pereira Sanchez, and Sama El Hayek. So you all get to meet them and you all get to talk with them, and hopefully this will be a very beneficial interaction and meeting for all of us. So first up is our very own Dr. Jubril. And we know that Dr. Jubril is from the Department of Psychiatry, College of Medicine at Ibadan. He is the founder and CEO of Asido Foundation, which is a not-for-profit health organization for health advocacy, mental health awareness, promotion. He got the Norman Sartorius ECP travel grant in 2009, and he has been our ECP advisor in the Association of Psychiatrists in Nigeria from its inception. We are still young. We are just barely, we're not up to 2 years of age, so we're quite young, and he has been guiding us through this process. So we would hear from Dr. Jubril first. Thank you.
Right. Good afternoon, good evening, and greetings, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Francis, for that very nice introduction. So let me just share my screen. So I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Please let me know when you can see the screen. Essentially, can you see it?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, but it will drop shortly. Anyway, I will just continue speaking. So I'll be speaking about the.
Okay, hold it down. Hello? Oh dear.
Okay, now no network.
I think it dropped a little.
Right.
I'm going to share again now.
Yes. Yes, John.
I'm going to share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dr. Francis, can you confirm you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Yes.
We can see your screen.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joan Soler Vidal, and I'm a doctor, psychiatrist, and I'm doing my PhD in the University of Barcelona. And I'm going to give you a presentation about how to organize an event for early career psychiatrists. And also I'm going to talk about friendship. I'd like to start thanking Dr. Francis Aduku and also to Dr. Victor Pereira Sanchez for hosting this event. and also to the Association of Psychiatrists from Nigeria. So during my talk, I'm going to give a definition of what is an early career psychiatrist. I'm going to explain you the event I organized in Barcelona for ECPs. And I'm going to give you some tips about how to organize an ECP then. And I will finish talking about friendship. So what is an early career psychiatrist? According to the Early Career Psychiatry section from the World Psychiatric Association, the WPA Association, early career psychiatrist is considered until 7 years after training is finished. So maybe most of you or some of you are an early career psychiatrist, but maybe not all of you are a member of this section. So I would like to encourage you, I'd like to use this talk to give you this advice of becoming a member of this section, because it's easy to do it and you'll gain friends, and also you'll learn content and networking, you'll do networking. You just only have to Google and you'll see that you'll have to send your CV and a motivation letter. So I organized an event for early career psychiatrists in Barcelona, and it was thanks to Professor Norman Sertorius and Professor Graham Thornycroft. I would like to start saying to you three key points, three important points that led me to organize and coordinate this international course. I was motivated to organize this event because I wanted to have such a great event in my city, in Barcelona, in Spain. I wanted to meet people. I wanted to have these two professors in our city, and I wanted to share this experience that I already experienced a year before in Athens when I attended the same course in my city. So the point is, the important thing is you have to be motivated. You have to find something that moves you to organize a course for ECPs. You also need to find collaborators. Maybe some of you think, oh, I don't know any institution, I don't know anybody, I'm not very important people, I don't know very important people, but I was in the same situation. I'm not very important people. I don't have doctors in my family, so I had to find institutions and try to collaborate and coordinate myself with them to organize this event. So I established some sort of collaboration with these institutions that I'm showing you the logos. And finally, we could organize the course in the city. It was a free course, so you can imagine how collaborations are important, because nobody earned $1, and the course was for free for the participants, so that's why collaborations are important. And last, mentors. Mentors are highly recommended. They are not crucial if you don't know important people in your country, in your region. They are not important first, but they are highly recommended. It's better if you contact them and try to also collaborate with them. So what I did was first talking to Professors Sertorius and Thornycroft. When they accepted, I designed a website. So for me, creating a website was a new thing. I'm not good at computers, but it took me 2 or 3 days to create this website, which is still running, and it was very useful. We we spread the news, and we spread this website through mailing, through WhatsApp and social networks. That is something that I think Dr. Peter Perez-Sanchez is going to talk to you later, how to use social networks. But it was very useful because we got 60 applications from 5 different continents, and finally we selected 60 participants. The countries I'm showing here are the ones that participants came from. The red ones are participants that were selected, but finally they could not come. Here's the profile photo group, and I'm very proud of it because our faces are happy, and it was one of the final photos that we took after 3 days of the course, and it seems that we were happy, but we were exhausted. So now I want to tell you how to organize ECP events according to my experience. I'm going to tell you 2 words, collaboration and networking. I just want you to remind these 2 words, collaboration and networking. According to an article from the Harvard Business Review, collaboration is a mental attitude. It's not about facts, it's a mental attitude. It means that we have to have respect for colleagues' contributions, and we also have to be open to listen to others' ideas. Maybe we're not used to listen to different ideas from the ones we're used to. So that means being open is something that maybe if we have not experienced, we have to do when we collaborate with a new group of people. And we also have to be sensitive, because each one's actions could affect a lot both the colleagues' work and the mission outcome. When talking about collaboration, you should think about these 3 important points. And what about networking? Maybe some of you, or at least me sometimes, maybe more in the past, I found myself saying, oh, I prefer to not going to that congress, I don't want to meet people, I prefer to be at home, maybe watching Netflix. Well, maybe Netflix didn't exist at that time, but maybe we don't want to network sometimes, but we have to learn to love to network. Network is important. Maybe it's not going to be our passion, but we have to know how to increase our networking abilities. And how can we do that? We have to focus on learning. Learning means being motivated on going to the group without expecting nothing. It's going somewhere, sometime, and just focusing on learning and see what happens there without any judgment being done previously. Once in this group, once we're in a group of people, we have to find common interests. Maybe I love social psychiatry, and maybe Dr. Aviuku loves social psychiatry. Sorry, maybe she loves alloperidol for her patients. This is not a common interest. Maybe a common interest would be how can we benefit our patients using social psychiatry and alloperidol. The final outcome is benefiting our society. It's not about our own interest. It's about the common interest. So this is the second point important. The third one is about what I'm good at. What can I give to the group that I'm very good at? Maybe I'm not good at hosting Zoom meetings as Dr. Victor. Maybe he's very good at that skill, but maybe I'm not good at this skill. So each of us has one skill that if you put all them together, the outcome will be great. And when talking about a higher purpose, you don't have to go networking or go to events thinking, I'm going to be the best psychiatrist in my region, I'm going to be the best, the most known psychiatrist in my country, I want to travel to post it in Facebook or Instagram, whatever. It's about finding a higher purpose. I want to benefit people. I want to create something together with people. It's not about me. The purpose has to be our purpose, not my purpose. This is very important ideas that they are important when you socialize with people. And as we're in this event from colleagues from Nigeria, maybe you're familiar with this website. It's a website from the Association of Psychiatrists from Nigeria. And when watching at the data, I saw that you were 450 mental health professionals, psychiatrists. So this is a lot of people. So I'm sure that you can create great events. Maybe not international, maybe yes, who knows? It depends about collaboration, but I'm sure you can create a lot of national events in your country. So yes, you can create ECP event in Nigeria. And you have to think yourself, yes, we can. As a group of early career psychiatrists in Nigeria, yes, we can create these events. And finally, I would like to finish with two slides showing you pictures of the event I hosted in Barcelona. I would like to say that the most important thing is not always the content or the study that you do or what you learn in the conference, in the class, and what you read. The most important thing, at least, that I got from the events that I've been attending in the past years is the friends I've met. Here you can see the first picture, Professor Thornikov wearing a hat that our Nepal colleague from Nepal was giving to him. So we were laughing a lot. That was an hilarious situation. So it's not about studying psychiatry, biology, whatever. It's about friendship. And these are moments that you take home when you finish the event. You can go to have dinner, go to have lunch in the events, and these are the most precious moments when you are in an event. So I like to finish with these 4 words. Events finish, but friendship remains. And I would like you to remember this a lot, because if you attend or organize meetings, you will remember that. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, so thank you very much, Jean. So your questions, you can just keep them until the end, or you can type them so you don't forget, and I can go through them and ask them on your behalf. So Dr. Jibril is back, so he'll go on next. So if you can just, there, okay, so he's here. So Jean, can you stop sharing your screen now?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Trying.
That should be Paulo, right?
Rubbish.
Yeah.
Okay, so Paulo, you're up next.
Okay. Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. So I don't have screen to share because as we talked with Francis, I would like to just have a conversation with all of you. So first of all, thank you for the invitation. It's a great pleasure for me to stay with all of you today. So I am Paolo Grandinetti. I am a psychiatrist. I am also a PhD in neuroscience, and I am right now, thanks much more, I'm the co-chair of the network of early career professionals working in the field of addiction medicine, so NECPAM. This is a network that we started in 2017 during the WHO Forum on Addiction in Geneva. We started, friends launched this network. Can you hear me? Sometimes.
Yes, go on.
Okay. So we launched this network in 2017, and it was great because we were in the WHO main building, and we thought, as Joan said, we thought not to which is the best solution for addiction, but that we want to find a solution. As Joan said with his beautiful example, is better social intervention or just pharmacological intervention? Maybe it can be the best solution, could be both for the patient. So when you talk about creating a network or early career professional group, worldwide or national, I think that you should think about the benefit that people can have from your network. And so this is a very good point. Thank you, Joanne, for your presentation. What else? I have to talk about the bylaws of the network, or as you prefer, early career section, and also about how to create, let's say, an action plan about your section. These 2 points, in my opinion, are very important because, first of all, in your bylaws, you have to think about the ethic of your section. So think about, for example, when what we are going to do, which is the field that you want to work on, and in which way. That is very important. For example, do I have to take money from pharmaceutical industries, or do I have to work just with public money, for example, from, in my case, from European Union or from grants from all over the world? So that's one important point. And moreover, you have to think while you write your bylaws also how people can reach you, how can they can apply for membership, which kind of people do I would like to have in my group. So, for example, as we did in ECPAM, we decided to be open to all the workers in the field of addiction medicine. That means nurse, social workers, street workers, but of course also doctors. And then we thought, just is this network just for young people or also for stakeholders? Well, we think that we would like to have many young people, so it would be better to have many early career professionals, and but we would like also to have the suggestions of the stakeholders. So we also created in our bylaw one advisory board where older people and professors can give us suggestions about our work. Just 2 days ago, we had a nice talk, very nice talk with Dr. Vladimir Potniak. He's the head of the addiction section in the WHO, so it was very inspiring. And that's also a good point. We have people, for example, from France that are already professors in their country. Second point, another good point to talk about bylaws is from an ethical point of view, can we accept everyone, or for example, in Italy, if you want to work as a medical doctor, you must be free from problems with the law. So this is an ethical point, and you have to write down also about this. I think that this is writing a good bylaw is very important to, let's say, to indicate the way that you want to work on. So it is, in my opinion, very important. And when you write down the bylaws, it means that you are writing also the guidelines for the action plan. What is an action plan? Is a plan when you are going to write down, for example, starting from now, from 2020 to the next 2 years, which are our main objectives. So, for example, in my network, we created a few, I think, well, 5 working groups. And in each working group with a specific thematic area, there is a leader of the group, of course, or 1 or 2, for example. And in each working group, there'll be more members. And they can start working, for example, one of our most productive working group is the one who talks about, works on training needs. Because going back to bylaws, for example, when we talk about early career profession, what does it mean? For example, in Italy, if you are 40 years old, you are still, let's say, young, but that's not the case in some other countries. When we talk about addiction, for example, in Australia, they have to become medical doctors, then psychiatrists, and then they can become addiction. They can have a specialization in addiction medicine. So it means that they will become specialized in addiction medicine at least when they will be at least 33, 35 years old. So that is also important. So as you can imagine, that means that it's a very big work to when you write down bylaws and action plans. And my suggestion is that to think is to the particular case. Because when you have to manage, for example, a membership request, as it comes to us just 2 days ago, from people, for example, it was one man, 42 years old, so not really young, okay, but he started to work just 2 years ago, because before it was he was working completely in another field. He was not a medical doctor, so he decided to become a medical doctor not when he was very young, you know. So you have to discuss also such kind of points. And yes, also as Joan told you, you have also to think that you are with this kind of section and network, you can go up from working perspective. That's correct, but you will grow up more as a person, as in your human being, because the most important thing is to have exchanging the experience, not only from a scientific point of view, but particularly from your emotional point of view, from your life point of view. That is a network, that is an early professional section. And one other thing, if you are going to work in a very good way as young, stakeholders will, of course, hear what you have to say. So don't give up. And as in our case, we are working in NECFAM Science 3 years, but now the stakeholders are starting to hear what we are going to say, and they are very interested. From WHO, from ESAM, there is the International Society of Addiction Medicine. They are writing us emails. So it is very, very important that you have to think that you have to work a lot to take your fruit, but you know, from the trees, and it is very important. So now you have still 15 minutes. I think I can stop if you want. We can, as we talked with Francis, it would be nice to have conversation. So if you have any kind of questions, I'm here for you, let's say.
Okay. Thank you so much, Paulo. So if we have any questions, can we either write them up or and we'll interact at the end. So I think Dr. Jibril is available now. He's sorted out the problem with his network, so he's ready for us. So Victor, if you can, okay. Yes, you're on mute. Okay. Good evening.
Good evening. So thank you very much. Let me share my screen now, and I hope that it will go smoothly this time around. I don't know why it's decided to misbehave. So I'm sharing my slides now. Please let me know. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Right. So thank you so much to our panel of discussants, Victor, Joan, Paolo, Grandinetti, and Samir. Thanks a lot for joining us and sharing your experience with us. So briefly, I will talk about our experience in Nigeria, the journey so far, and this is my university, the University of Ibadan. So greetings from Ibadan. And I'll just talk about it in this brief outline in the beginning, more recently, here and now, and then looking ahead. So in the beginning, this is the father of psychiatry in Nigeria, Professor Adeoye Lambo, and he lived from 1923 to 2004, the first Nigerian psychiatrist, the first head of department at the University of Ibadan, which is the oldest university in Nigeria. And then subsequently, he joined the WHO and rose to become the Deputy Director General of the WHO, the first psychiatrist to rise to that eminent position at the WHO. And I mention him for a reason. Professor Lambo was not just the first psychiatrist, but he was also the biggest mentor we've had so far, because he oversaw the mentoring of the next generation of giants in psychiatry in Nigeria, both in Nigeria and also at the WHO. So locally in Nigeria, this will be familiar with my colleagues here, Professors Odejide, Olataura, Oyegureje, Judo Haire, and so on, so many others. Internationally, he worked at the WHO. He was already the Deputy Director General when people like Professor Norman Sartorius were young at the WHO, and he mentored Professor Sartorius. So that's why I put the picture here, yes, because at the time he retired, Professor Sartorius was just rising through the ranks at the WHO. And Professor Sartorius himself had mentioned how they had very interesting interactions. And Professor Lambo was also very tall, very charismatic, also a flamboyant dresser, and you know, always well-groomed. So that's something they share in common. So it was no surprise that they were very good friends. And still following the thread of mentorship, Professor Sartorius then rose to become the head of the WHO Mental Health Section. And in that position, he focused a lot of his energies on mentoring and grooming psychiatrists globally. And some of his early mentees are now global giants themselves. People like Professor Graham Thornycroft, who is now a SAR at the Institute of Psychiatry in London, Professor Gureje, and so many others, countless others. Another good initiative he started was the issue of the regional ECP programs and also mentoring young people. He has always been a fan of mentoring young people. So I call him the Emeritus Global Mentor of early career programs. So, but more recently for us in the continent, Professor Sartorius had a series of early career trainings across different regions, but in Africa, the last I knew, they may have been one after that, was in 2015. So we had the first in Addis Ababa in 2006, then Nairobi 2007, Abuja 2009. I was in the 2009 cohort, and so on. So for us in Nigeria, cohort 1, 2007, had Professor Adewiya and Dr. Eson. Cohort 2, that's my cohort, Dr. Oladeji, Professor Isa Baba, Dr. Bolanle Ola, Yewande Oshodi, James Bawo. We were all in cohort 2. And then cohort 3 was in 2011. There have been other cohorts, and there have been other Nigerian early career psychiatrists, and now mid-career. I consider myself mid-career now, and other mid-career who had benefited from these trainings globally in other regions, to not just on the African continent. What are the benefits? Friendships, sometimes lifelong, mentorship, career collaboration and growth, network of support, fun. I mean, it's not all about hard work and serious business all of the time. It's also an opportunity to make friendships and have fun, enjoy and learn from other people's culture and their systems and so on and so forth. And that's what I mean by cross-fertilization of ideas, which is what we are doing on this platform now. Paolo Grandinetti has just told us about their experience with bylaws and situations where they needed to make exceptions to some people and all of that. And that's something that we can learn from and work on to improve on what we are going to be doing here in Nigeria. It's also very good exposure when you travel and interact with other people and you see how things are being done elsewhere. So here and now, where are we? The current leadership of the Association of Psychiatrists in Nigeria decided that we should move from accidental mentorship to systematic, processes that will ensure that early career psychiatrists get good training. And that's why they decided, because, so many people, it's a random opportunity. If there's going to be a training on the African continent, there will be several applicants, only a few will be selected. But we have enough people with experience now to be able to replicate that, to mentor and nurture early career psychiatrists in the country. And that's the idea of the AP and the Association of Psychiatrists. And that's why it has now become a feature that every annual conference of the Association of Psychiatrists, there will be an early career program. So this started in 2018. So compared to other countries in Europe, that's very early, it's just like yesterday. So that's why I'm grateful that Dr. Francis was able to bring all of you on board, because we have a lot of experience to learn from you and how your programs are running, so that we can modify it to make our own work very well. So it started in 2018 in Lagos, and 2019 we also had another session in Port Harcourt. And looking ahead, which is my last slide, what do we see ahead? I put it back to you, Dr. Francis, and all the other early career colleagues on this meeting, that it's in your hands. This meeting we are having now is very proactive, and I think it's very good. It's a positive step in the right direction. But how well this succeeds and how far it goes depends on ECP Nigeria members, because you have to be the driving force to determine how things run and how far you go. On our part and on behalf of the APN executives led by Professor Sheikh, I can assure you that you have our maximum support in every foreseeable way. So that's my contribution. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gibil. So I'm sure we have questions, plenty questions for you that will come at the end. So you can just take the last two presentations. So Victor, you are up next.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, are you being able to see my slides?
Yes.
Right, great. Okay, so thank you very much, Francis, for putting together this colloquium, and thanks as well to the other speakers on the panel, and to everyone who is listening. Yeah, for sure. COVID-19 pandemic is causing a lot of damage worldwide, and uh, when we talk about trauma, it's a lot. There's a lot of talk about post-traumatic stress and post-traumatic reactions, but we are also talking about this post-traumatic growth. So I'm learning a lot of this crisis, and I'm learning a lot because I'm being able, thankfully, to stay connected with especially with a lot of colleagues. Most of you, well, I didn't know most of you before the pandemic, and yeah, thanks to this situation, I'm being very much enriched of talking to you, of working more closely with some of you, and of the opportunity of traveling abroad through Zoom to countries that I never visited before. But anyway, I hope to have the chance to meet every one of you in person in the near future. So I would say that this talk, speakers usually say that their talk is the most important. I wouldn't say that this is the less important, but this, what I'm going to present here, is a means, is a set of tools to allow you to go for to accomplish your objectives, to stay together, to connect with more people. But the basis of the work of early career psychiatrists and trainees and the purpose of these networks are to make each of you better persons, better professionals, better early career psychiatrists, and to foster friendships with other colleagues, as it has been mentioned before, and to be able to team up together for the benefit of your patients and the society you are serving. Well, I have no conflicts of interest. I work original from Spain, but I'm working in the New York University. Okay, so I will have a few words about why social media is being a global, great, and real-time framework for conversations, not only about politics and about many other current issues, but especially as well around mental health and psychiatry, and what are the opportunities for us as early career psychiatrists to participate in those conversations and to harness capabilities of social media to do good. So first, so social media is ubiquitous and is pervasive. These are general stats, in this case from Nigeria. In that website, you can see stats from all the countries which have data, and this accounts for all the population. Probably among us that we are younger. We are usually between 25, 40 something. Probably, many of us have a Facebook account, so probably among young people, other platforms in a daily basis are more used, and especially Instagram. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about some of those networks in more detail in the next few slides. But the thing here, and what I want to highlight, is that many people have access to social media. Many people are spending a lot of time checking out social media, and and we can use it for good, or we can lead people also to get exposed to the risks of the social media. So yeah, social media in general have kind of two sides. I think the good side in green, and the dark side. For sure, social media well, includes platforms that allow for real-time conversations and real-time sharing of information. Social media have played and is playing an important role also in many countries, and kind of democratizing the access to information, and democratizing the the sharing of opinions. Also, social media is a platform that many people are using to share their personal stories, and this is important in patients with mental disorders. For many patients, they can either use an anonymous account and talk from that anonymity, and have conversations with other social media users, but also they can be present with their real names, and they can find support, and they can find other people with similar problems, and it's been very helpful for them in that sense. Also, social media is a way to exercise advocacy in psychiatry, to advocate for people with mental disorders. Um, Also, it's a means to provide medical advice, to provide also scientific advice, to share the results of scientific studies, and to peer support for patients, but also for us to seek and provide peer support with other early career psychiatrists, and with other colleagues. And in fact, in the graph on the left, I'm showing you one of the results of a study we conducted with other early career psychiatrists and other colleagues in Spain on Twitter. So you can see that from the inception of Twitter in 2007, in red you can see tweets published by mass media outlets, by the accounts of mass media outlets, including New York Times, Washington Post in the United States. And in blue, you can see the tweets post about mental disorders. So you can see that in the mass media outlets contents on Twitter, there has been an increasing interest on talking about mental disorders when considering tweets about health. And also, you can see also from the same study, you can see in this forest plot on the right that some disorders are more popular and have more engagement in retweets from the general public. So and here, there's something also we saw that the distribution of interest in Twitter from users is not proportional to the prevalence of a disorder, but it's more related to other mediatic factors. For instance, here we found that some of the tweets with more interest were gender dysphoria, and autism, and suicide at some point, but other disorders such as anxiety and depression and psychosis that are very prevalent, but people weren't that interested in those. So here in red, the red words mark what harms can be done through the media. These are just some of them. For instance, some companies can use it to do abusive marketing, and some people and some institutions to spread misinformation, also to spread misinformation about mental disorders, to spread the stigma, to insult people. And also, like in the example here on Instagram, people and patients with mental disorders, especially eating disorders, some of them have used the social media, to engage with other people with similar disorders, but to reinforce pathological behaviors. Like, for instance, you see that this hashtag on Instagram about skinny that is composed largely of pictures of, especially of girls showing their skinny bodies and praising their bodies and saying that they are proud of having anorexia and want to be skinner. So some people can also face these problems with the social media. So in the midst of this, we are early career psychiatrists, so we are young. We are part of the millennial generation, born in the 80s, 90s. So we are, we start using social media when we were very young and are used to that. So what can we do with the social media? So we can use the social media as a framework for networking and communication with trainees in our country, in other countries. Also we can use it to spread and to information about the activities, the resources we have in our associations and in our networks of early career psychiatrists. We can also engage with many people with different roles in society, and we can enhance discussions. Through social media, we can advocate for ourselves, for our colleagues about our working conditions. We can also advocate for, especially for people with mental disorders, for minorities. We can provide and offer peer support to colleagues, to patients. We can spread true information, psychoeducation, health promotion. We can share tips, resources for people struggling with mental disorders. That's way combating against misinformation and stigma. We can also have a sense of what is the public saying in the social media about mental disorders, to perceive if there's stigma, if there are misconceptions, and there's something we might want to research about and to explore. Also taking into account that the social media is not 100% representative of the true world, but it gives you an idea of what young people with access to internet is thinking. So now, a few notes of some of the most popular social media platforms, more here in the way that I use them, regarding psychiatry contents and the way some colleagues use them. So Facebook, in Facebook, you have to, you have a network of friends, and you can share contents with your friends. The Facebook groups are very powerful to enable a conversation and to enable a framework in which many different people can share information, and you can spread information about the activities of your association. I haven't explored Facebook Live, but most social networks have an option to stream videos in live. Twitter, maybe, I'm especially active on Twitter. So Twitter is kind of, it's being used more professionally because it's not based on friends, but in followers and people you are following. And in Twitter, people will share short text and can add links or videos. So it's being used by many institutions and by many individuals. I have seen in the United States there is this psychiatric resident chat. So every other week on Thursday, They host a discussion about a topic related to psychiatric training, and people engage and share their opinions. And also, Twitter has a wide community of medical students, of researchers, of doctors, psychiatrists, and other health professionals. So it's a great way to network, to advocate, to also counter the stigma that is very also present in this social network. Instagram, so Instagram, yeah, as you probably know, is based mainly on pictures, sharing pictures with a short text. It doesn't work very well for links. You can paste links, but they are not published as links, but as text. But yeah, many young people are using it and like it. So I also recently started to use with the associations I am part of, and also personally Instagram, not only to share nice pictures of what I'm doing, but also to share pictures related to my research or messages of support. Here in the World Network of Psychiatric Trainees, for instance, we had a campaign to share videos and pictures of support to patients and to other trainees across the world. And Instagram is being very used by celebrities to share videos and these days of support to people with mental illness. And finally, yeah, I started using YouTube recently. So YouTube, well, it has a part of social network in the way that people can interact, but it's more frequently used as well, without needing to have an account and without needing to share your own videos, but you can watch the videos of other people. And yeah, so I have seen YouTube, well, thanks to YouTube, you can have a massive audience and reach very easily many people. Many people spend a lot of time watching videos. So for instance, here on the right, last year in the Spanish Association of Psychiatric Trainees I was part of, we published this video. This is in Spanish, but it says, "Why psychiatry?" So in this video, different colleagues from the country were sharing messages of saying why did they choose psychiatry. So this was a message especially for the new psychiatric residents that were about to start. And also, finally, I started using YouTube with colleagues in different research projects to share videos, to share short videos explaining our research papers. So it's a way to disseminate your research easier. And other platforms, I don't have much time, but ResearchGate is a great way to share your papers, your scientific presentations. LinkedIn, yeah, to engage with other professionals, and also, yeah, instant messaging. They are not social media in the way that the others are. These are based on private conversations, but also they are a great way to have a real-time connection with colleagues. So I'm sorry for spending more time than I plan. Thank you very much. I really hope and pray that you stay safe and we can meet each other soon. Feel free to reach me on these contact details. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Victor. And the last presenter before we take questions is Samer.
Hello, everyone. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Are you able to see the screen, everyone?
Yes, we
the
can.
presentation? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So, hello, everyone. My name is Samer Al-Hayek. I am a third-year psychiatry resident at the American University of Beirut in Lebanon. I'm also the chair of the Psychiatrists and Training Section that we recently created about 1 year ago in Lebanon as part of the Lebanese Psychiatric Society. So first of all, I want to thank Dr. Francis for giving me the opportunity of speaking in this forum. And part of the things that I'm going to be sharing might be a little bit redundant to what the previous speakers have mentioned. So I'll try as much as I can not to be redundant and to share different material. So I'm going to be mainly focusing on my personal experience in terms of benefits of being part of the early career psychiatry section, and I'm going to talk about global benefits in general, and then about local benefits and what we got to do in Lebanon in terms of our country. So to start off with the global benefits of early career psychiatry, and I think by now all of you are aware of these benefits, but we're just going to go over them a little bit. And these would definitely, first of all, include learning the most updated evidence-based practice. And I really have to say that in the different sessions that I attended and in the different group meetings, whether they were regional, local, or international, the presentations which were provided were really up-to-date information. And what was very special about all the meetings that I got to attend is that all of them tend to take into consideration the different cultural background of people, the different perspectives, the different countries. And usually you tend to have forums which are dedicated to different topics that try to provide a very comprehensive update of what is known in the different fields of psychiatry. In the picture on the right, you see Professor Norman Sartorius. Dr. Jibril mentioned Professor Norman Sartorius previously, and I have to say that myself, I got the chance to attend one of the workshops provided by Dr. Sartorius that was in Sydney last year, and this was one of the most enriching experiences that I ever had. And being part of the early career psychiatry sections really played a role for me to be able to attend this forum with the Professor Sartorius and to be able to visit Sydney. And I really think that everyone who is part of the ECP has the chance to attend these yearly sessions that are done by Professor Sartorius and his colleague, Professor Isaac. And this is really a once-in-a-lifetime experience that I think everyone should have the chance to attend. The second benefit, of course, is getting the chance to present your work. And really, this is the platform, this is the right place where you will be able to take the work that you did at your home country and to present it anywhere, whether it's in regional meetings or in international meetings. I have to tell you, this is really your chance to shine and to show your work. People are usually very interested by the perspectives internationals or individuals from other countries to bring. And this is one way to present what you have been working on and what you have been doing. It tends to bring a different taste in terms of the challenges that someone usually meets, or how things in one country are done differently compared to another country. And for sure, you would get the chance to win posters or certificates of appreciation, which is always something very beneficial for you to add on your CV later on. The third benefit, and I think this is a benefit that is very personal for me and that I got the chance to feel more recently after the COVID-19 pandemic, is really opening avenues for collaborations with colleagues from all over the world. And I really think this has been one of the greatest experiences that I had received. I got the chance to work with an amazing group of international early career psychiatrists, and since the COVID-19 pandemic, we have been working really hard, and we have been honestly rolling like a machine. And since few months, we were able to publish several manuscripts in very prestigious journals. And the amount of positive energy, the amount of experience that you get from working with these individual people, this is a different experience. It's really much more different than working with colleagues who are present next to you and who are present or who are part of your background or your culture. If you are keen on research, I think that ECP is an excellent platform for you to collaborate with other individuals and for you to work on different projects to bring on common interests or common themes and to take it from there. The fourth benefit that we previously mentioned is developing a rich network of colleagues and friends. Honestly, I had so many pictures I wanted to put on these slides, so I decided to make 2 slides out of it. And I have to say that I never thought I'm gonna meet people from all over the world and become not only colleagues with them, but also friends. And I literally mean from all over the world. I've met people from China, from Japan, from the Philippines, from Egypt, from Morocco, from the USA, from Nigeria as well during my last trip when I was in Egypt, from India, and the list goes on and on. And the beautiful thing about being part of ECP is that it helps bring all these people from the different backgrounds, different cultures, different norms, and then put them under one umbrella of not only work, but also fun and good times. And now, whenever I think about traveling to a country, I almost always have an early career psychiatrist in that country who I know and who I'd be able to get in touch with. And of course, visiting new places around the world. This is something that you will be able to do. And this is something that the ECP offers as part of attending congresses and having at many times the opportunity to apply for fellowships through the ECP. These pictures are taken in Tunisia, and Tunisia is an amazing place that everyone should visit. The picture on the left is in Sidi Bou Said, and the picture on the right is in Hammamat. I visited so many places. You get to see different cultures, different people, and most importantly, you get to eat a lot of good food. Now I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the local benefits of ECP and what we have been doing in Lebanon. So to give you a short start, so Lebanon is really a very, very, very small country, and psychiatry training is very limited in Lebanon. So in the whole country, we have about 6 or 7 training programs with a total of almost 35 psychiatry trainees in the whole country and at all levels. So we are really a small group. We are even less than the number of individuals in the forum today. And despite that, we didn't know each other, and we really had minimal contact. So trainees from different programs had really a minimal contact with each other. And after traveling and being part of the ECP, I was like, why not creating something in Lebanon that can bring us all together? And why not creating an early career psychiatry section under the umbrella of our Lebanese Psychiatric Society? And this very recently happened. So it happened in August 2019. I released an announcement to all the different programs in the country, and I asked whoever might be interested in joining and to be part in this innovative section. And honestly, I had minimal enthusiasm at first, and there were about 9 or 10 people who wanted to be part of this. The concept was very weird for everyone. So it was at first a little bit demotivating. However, we decided to go on to try our best, and we decided to divide this section into 3 different groups that could cater to the interests of everyone. So there was one group who wanted to work on educational activities. There was another group who wanted to work on stigma and to create some awareness campaigns in the country. And there was one group that was very avid for research, and they wanted to organize research-based workshops and to spread information about relevant scientific events. And 6 months after developing these different subgroups of the section, we ended up having 28 out of the 35 psychiatry trainees as part of our section. And this by itself, I consider to be an achievement. And this picture is very recent, not really that recent, 2 months ago, just before COVID-19. And I have to tell you that the enthusiasm of the people was amazing. It was something new for everyone. And it brought up a lot of positive energy. Even though the pandemic limited our meetings, we were able to do many Zoom meetings like this one, and we were actually been very active throughout the pandemic itself. So as part of our activity in raising awareness, we were one of the first groups in the country to actually release pamphlets throughout the social media that talk about mental health during COVID-19, and we released that in 3 different languages, in the Arabic language, as well as in English and in French. And the feedback that we were receiving was actually a very positive feedback, and this was only giving us more enthusiasm in order to proceed and to do more. We are currently launching different research activities as part of our section. And we decided also to launch an educational campaign at schools just when schools will start to open, in order to talk a little bit more about bullying and anxiety at schools, which are not very taught or not very well known in schools, and that also remain a taboo as part of this in the country. I have to say that at first, this whole project of having early career section in Lebanon sounded to be very difficult. And I never thought that this would be something that would work. However, ultimately, after hard work and a lot of pushing each other to do it, motivating each other, I think we have reached a level where we are providing good work, not only for us, but also for the country, and that work is not only limited to education, but it also spreads throughout other aspects, including research and including connecting with each other, and providing a lot of input and motivation for people. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, I would be very happy to answer. And thank you again for giving me the opportunity to speak in this forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Samer. So we are open for questions, as much questions as you want. If you want to ask them in person, we'll unmute you. If you want to send in, type it in, we'll read it out for you. So we are ready for your question. Okay, so any questions? Okay, yes, we have one. So Dr. Babagana, let me unmute you. Okay, so you can ask your question. Okay, so you can ask your question then.
Okay, hello everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you so much, Frances. Thank you everyone. I'm sorry for joining it a bit late. I was held up by work. I just want to commend you guys for the good work that has been done. This is a very great encounter, which I think we should carry on going forward and make it as regular as we can. I'm just asking Francis, are we having a recording of this? So that we perhaps for
Yes, we are.
a bit late, we'll be able to get the
Yes.
of the gist. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, we are, definitely.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Well done.
Okay, so we have a question. It says, how does one become a member? I'm assuming a member of, is it the WPA ECP? Somebody asked a question. Ade Lawal Agatha. So how do you become a member of WPA ECP? So who would want to? Okay.
I can take that.
Maybe I can just. Oh, Victor, go ahead if you want.
No, go ahead.
No. Because you mentioned that in your presentation, so.
Well, what I said was that what we were saying through WhatsApp some days ago, that it's a very easy process. You just have to send the CV and a motivation letter, and I think it's Dr. Mariana Santos who's receiving these mails, and she's gonna answer you. And everyone who wants to join this section becomes a member. Am I right? If not, please, Victor, say it. What I'm going to do is just copy paste the website in our chat. So now I have just pasted it. You can just look in this website the information.
Yeah, so in the website, the first part is a picture of the board members, and at the end there's some text and there are some links, and one of the links is terms of reference. So you have to click that terms of reference, and you will be redirected to a PDF, and the instructions are there. Basically, yeah, it's sending to the secretary of the board, sending your CV and a motivation letter.
Okay, so any other questions or any hands up? I would like to ask everyone to turn on their camera so that we can do a screenshot of everyone. It would help us to post it on our social media platforms and tell everybody that we did something nice. So if you can all put on your cameras, that would help. So any other questions? Any hands up? Okay, yes, Mohammed, yes. Okay, sorry. We have one question. Oh, where is he? He's gone. Mohammed Muftau. If you can, I saw his hand up. I tried to unmute him just now and it's gone again. So could you just, okay, there, fine. So let me just unmute him so that he can ask his question. Okay, so Mohammed. Mohammed Muftau, I've unmuted you. Okay. So can you ask a question?
Okay. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, but we can't see you.
Okay. Okay, you can see me now. Can you hear me and see me now?
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Francis, for these efforts. I would like to thank by the speakers, but I just want to mention that I think one of the most important aspects is I also want to quickly thank the APN for the initiative of bringing together the early career psychiatrists in Nigeria. Particularly, this happened in 2008 when we attended the APN meeting in Lagos. So thanks to APN, and particularly thanks to Dr. Malik for his efforts in motivating us. I just want to mention most important aspects of involvement in these early career psychiatrist activities is doing research. I think my first exposure to such events was my attendance at the early career psychiatrics fellowship meeting at Egypt in Cairo last year, where I met Dr. Samir Al-Haik. That's where we met for the first time. So that's actually an opportunity to meet a lot of people, and that will give you opportunity to network, to collaborate, and then engage in activities that will lead to your professional and academic development. Importantly, also, I also met one of the first, the first speaker, John Stoller. We also met at Tunisia last year, December, during the WPA World Psychiatric Early Career Psychiatry Section meeting. So I just want to encourage our colleagues to engage in research, but because that's the first point of your ability to travel and then meet colleagues elsewhere, where you can build relationships that will lead to positive results. And the whole essence is for us to have the development of mental health and have better services to our patients. So I would like to thank the speakers and also the organizers of this meeting. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Let's lower your hand. Okay, so we have Marwa. She's from Egypt, so I'm going to unmute her now so she can speak.
Okay,
All right.
hello everyone. Okay, this is Marwa. I'm an Egyptian psychiatrist, and I'm really happy to be participating in this very good initiative. I'm really happy because I'm African, so it's a good start. And I'm very thankful for my colleagues in Early Career Psychiatric Section and World Psychiatric Association to have this initiative. And I think this is one of the most important things. It's just not about you benefit from this, but you are giving a lot of support to your other colleagues all over the world, not your country, not your continent. It's about giving good things to everyone you meet. And even I know a lot of them, and I'm very thankful for them for this period, 2 months or 3 months now. We are working together in a lot of researches. And it's not about just, as you mentioned earlier, it's not just about scientific part, but also it's about support on many levels. So I'm very happy for you, for my Nigerian colleagues, that you start something that I think will affect your practice and will promote mental health in your country. And in the same time, I want just to thank my international colleagues and WPA ECP. And good night. For me, it's a good night. For you, maybe it's a good morning or good afternoon. So just thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Marwa. So I'll mute you now and lower your hand. Okay, so do we have any other questions, comments, any other hands up? Okay. Okay, we have
yeah, I would like to ask a question actually to the audience.
Okay.
So well, especially for Francis and for all those who are pushing forward to have a strong association of early career psychiatrists in Nigeria. If you think that yeah, to have feedback as well. Do you think that social media can play a role in putting together the association, in what you want to do, and what do you think? Which means do you think would be more useful for you? Also to have a feedback, because sometimes I can see a lot of things, but it might not be useful for you.
Okay, so I'll just give my own opinion, my view. I believe social media, if used in the right way, can actually boost our our section of the association, what we do, and the impact we can actually have. Because as you said, we are the younger age groups, we are the ones that are more tech savvy, and this is sort of an everyday part of our lives, social media. And we can actually use it to boost our work, our research, our, promote maybe the health education we want to do. So I think it's something that we will have to incorporate a lot more into our section of the association and watch it grow, because I believe it can help us. Okay. Margaret's hand is up, so I'll unmute Margaret. Margaret, your video has to be on. So yeah. So okay. So oh dear, yeah. Okay, go on, Margaret.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, so well done, Frances. Good job. John, it's nice seeing you. And Victor, thank you for coming around. Thanks to the other people, Sama, Paulo. Thank you for coming around. And I want to thank our own person, Dr. Jubril. It was a beautiful presentation. I just want to thank you guys. And just to add to what the other speakers have said, yes, I'll encourage my colleagues to join and be members of the WCP, both WCP Early Career Psychiatrist arm, and also need to do this together. We are stronger when we work together, so we need to support each other. Yeah, like others have said, let's do more research together, let's do more collaborations, and you have to get involved. I benefit from the friendship. I'm friends with John, I know Victor, and I'm looking forward to meeting other people. Mawa, this is me talking to you physically now. We've been chatting on the social media thing, but it's good to know that the social media thing, like Victor has said, brings about collaboration. And I think as early career psychiatrists, we can actually engage more in this, and we can make the Early Career Psychiatrists Association, or arm of Nigeria, actually become a force to reckon with. So that's my nice. Thank you for coming around.
Thank you, Margaret. Please don't turn off your video, because we have to do a picture. Don't turn off your video. We have to do a picture.
Yeah.
Okay. So any more questions? Okay, so if there are no more questions, no hands up, can we please put on our video so that we can do take a gallery view and take a picture of everybody that's in attendance?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, probably we'll need to do 2 shots, because I don't know how many cameras is allowing your video in the gallery, but I think it's a limit.
Okay.
I'm not sure if anyone.
Do you say cheese, or what do you say, Frances?
Cheese.
Cheese.
Okay.
Is anyone able to see the 46
No,
participants?
we have to do it in 3 shots.
Okay, so we'll do 2 screenshots. The first, let's go. So, okay, we have the first. And now for the second screen, there's a lot of people there. Okay. Okay, G. Okay, sorry. No.
You have the third screen.
Mistake. Justus, we cannot see your face. It's all very dark. Also, okay, now we can see your face. Justus and Dr. Hassan are very dark, and the screen is very dark. So if they can put some light. Possible. Okay, let's try. Okay, T. Okay.
And then the last screen. Okay, I think that's it.
So there's a third screen. Okay. Third screen. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, actually, let me take, because the problem here is that sometimes the Zoom change people from the screen to another screen. So yeah, taking just a few, and hopefully among so many, everyone will be represented.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I would like to say thank you, everybody, for turning up. Thank you to the speakers. Thank you, Dr. Jibril. We've kept you for almost 2 hours, but we are grateful to have you here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, John. Thank you, Paulo. Thank you, Samer. Thank you, Marwa. Thank you, Salihu. Everybody. I'm so grateful that we all could make it, and I hope we have learned, and I hope this would sort of bring us together stronger, and we won't let what our association has put together die, because they've really they've put in a lot of work to keep us together. And my hope is that as they leave it in our hands, we would have enough vigor and enthusiasm and motivation to carry it on and make them proud of us and of what we are able to accomplish. So thank you all very much, and have a wonderful night or morning or afternoon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll share a link with the recording of the video.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Excellent job, Dr. Francis.